Having a hard time remembering to send money to your roommate for rent every month? Or maybe you're constantly forgetting to pay back your friend for that streaming service subscription. What if I told you there's a super simple way to automate those regular payments, saving you time, stress, and those awkward "hey, you owe me" texts? We all have those recurring expenses, don't we? From splitting utilities with housemates to chipping in for a shared family gift fund, or even just regularly sending pocket money to a younger sibling. Manually remembering each one can be a real headache. You set a reminder, but then life happens, the reminder gets dismissed, and suddenly it's 3 weeks later and you're scrambling to send that payment. It's not just about the money, it's about the mental load, the small drain on your cognitive energy that accumulates over time. Think about it. Every time you have to stop what you're doing, open Venmo, find the person, input the amount, add a note, and hit send, that's a tiny interruption. Multiply that by all your recurring payments, and suddenly you're losing precious minutes, maybe even hours, over the course of a month or year. And let's not forget the potential for friction in relationships. Nobody likes to be the bill collector, and nobody likes to feel like they're constantly chasing down money they're owed. Automating these payments isn't just about convenience, it's about maintaining harmony in your financial relationships. For years, the idea of truly recurring payments on peer-to-peer platforms like Venmo seemed like a pipe dream for many. We had standing orders with banks, sure, but for those smaller, more frequent, and often more personal transactions, it was always a manual process. But as our lives become increasingly digital and interconnected, the demand for more seamless financial interactions has grown. People want to manage their money efficiently, and that includes effortlessly handling obligations to friends, family, and even small businesses. The beauty of Venmo, with its social feed and user-friendly interface, is that it bridges the gap between traditional banking and casual money transfers. It's become the go-to for splitting checks, contributing to group gifts, and quick reimbursements. The natural next step was to integrate the convenience of recurring payments into this already popular platform, addressing a genuine need for its vast user base. So, how do you unlock this financial superpower within Venmo? It's surprisingly straightforward, but there are a few key steps and considerations to keep in mind to ensure your recurring payments run smoothly and exactly as you intend. We're going to break down the entire process, from finding the feature to setting up your first recurring payment, and even how to manage and cancel them if your circumstances change. We'll cover common pitfalls to avoid and offer some pro tips to make sure your automated payments are a boon, not a burden. Let's dive right into the heart of the matter, setting up a recurring payment. First things first, you need to ensure your Venmo app is up to date. This is crucial because features are constantly being rolled out and updated, and if you're running an older version, you might not even see the option for recurring payments. So, head over to your App Store, whether it's the Apple App Store for iOS or Google Play Store for Android, and check for any pending updates for Venmo. Once you're certain you're on the latest version, open the app and log in. Now, once you're in the app, the path to recurring payments usually starts from the Pay or Request button, which is typically the central button at the bottom of your screen, often represented by a $sign icon. Tap that, and it will bring up the interface where you can initiate a new payment or request. Next, you'll need to select the recipient. You can search for them by their Venmo username, phone number, or email address. It's always a good idea to double-check that you're sending money to the correct person, especially when setting up a recurring payment, as this will happen automatically in the future. Once you've selected your recipient, you'll be taken to the Payment Details screen. This is where the magic happens. You'll see the usual fields for entering the amount and a note for your payment. Enter the exact amount you want to send for each recurring payment. Then, in the What's It For? Or Note field, make sure to add a clear and concise description of the payment. This is incredibly important for both you and the recipient. For instance, if it's for rent, you might write July rent or monthly utilities. This not only helps with your own record keeping but also ensures the recipient understands the purpose of the regular payments. Below the amount and note fields, this is where you'll find the option to make it recurring. Look for an option that might be labeled Make This Recurring, Repeat Payment, or something similar. The exact wording can vary slightly depending on your app version and operating system, but it will be clearly identifiable as an option to automate the payment. Tap on this option. Once you select to make it recurring, you'll be presented with options to configure the frequency and duration of the payments. This is where you specify how often the payment will occur and for how long. You'll typically have options like weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or annually. Choose the frequency that matches your payment schedule. For rent, monthly would be the obvious choice. After selecting the frequency, you will usually be prompted to set the start date. This is the date when the first recurring payment will be sent. Make sure this date aligns with when you want the payments to begin. You'll also need to specify an end date or a number of occurrences. This is crucial for managing your recurring payments. You might have options such as until I cancel, after X payments, or on a specific date. Until I cancel, this is ideal for ongoing payments like rent or regular contributions to a shared fund where there is no fixed end in sight. You'll need to remember to manually cancel it when the time comes. After X payments, this is perfect for situations where you know the exact number of payments needed, for example, paying back a loan in 10 installments. On a specific date, this is useful for payments tied to a particular event or period, like a subscription that ends on a certain date. Once you've configured the frequency, start date, and end condition, review all the details one last time. Double-check the recipient, the amount, the note, the frequency, and the start and end dates. Accuracy here is paramount, as these payments will be automated. Finally, tap the Send or Set Up Recurring Payment button to confirm. Venmo will usually provide a summary screen for your final review before the recurring payment is activated. Confirm, and congratulations! You've just set up your first recurring Venmo payment. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.